Hello everyone, welcome to the post-match review. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 2. I know, crazy, right? Madness. A lot of people did not expect this. I said I will be a cocky, smug prick if we got a result at Anfield, and that is exactly what I am going to do. I'm going to live by my words today. We got a draw. I think a lot of United fans would have taken that and bitten your hand off that prior to the game. I don't want to be that guy that's like celebrating a draw and buzzing, but given how results have been recently and how we've been performing, I think we can be happy with that, boys, right?
Yeah, that's what I was laughing because I've never heard you sound that excited in a long time.
Anyone
so excited? Yeah, never. Yeah, but yeah, that was that was good, man. That was good. I never thought in a million years that we'd get anything. I mean, we scored 2 at Anfield.
Anfield.
How mad is that? Like that is insane. I mean, the last time we scored there was 2018 with Jesse Lingard. Like it feels like a world away. You know, Shiraz was probably, I don't know how old Shiraz was last time we scored at Anfield. So yeah, it's a good one. I mean, cause to celebrate, man. I'm celebrating this draw like a win. I swear down.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't hear anything you just said because my earphones disconnected. I had to disconnect them again. I heard the last bit where you just celebrate. That's really the most important bit where basically celebrate.
Right.
Fine. Sam.
Yes.
How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, really happy. Not just the result, like, because we could have scammed 2-2 and looked shit doing it, but the fact that there's so many performances in that team that perform well. Lenny Yoro came on, made an absolutely amazing tackle. Manuel Ugarte was fucking fantastic. Ahmad, Kobbie Mainoo, even Bruno had a fantastic game. Leacher looked back to his normal self as well. Onana made some great saves. Like, there were some really strong performances in there, which, like, that's what we've said all the time. It's not about losing or not winning. It's about the performance and the matter of how that happens. And I think if you're going to draw at Anfield and not come away with a result, and we probably should have done if it weren't for the Maguire thing at the end, but we'll get into that. I think we could be really happy with that performance. Spirit, fight back, high performances. It had everything except the win, but it'll come, man. It'll come. I think you could tell that Amarin's had a week on the training ground. You can tell, can't you? He's had actual time to put in and get tactics because everybody knew what they were doing. So, yeah, really fucking excited, really happy. And like you, Nick, I was expecting a 4-0 battering. Didn't expect anything out of this. And, yeah, I'll walk away super happy with that.
Do you think I'll go down as like a classic, Chivy, in terms of the back and forth? Because it was quite eventful, wasn't it?
Yeah, we haven't had that in a while against Liverpool. The back and forth sort of thing. Like it's been a while since that actually happened. When we won 2-1 under Ten Hag, it wasn't exactly back and forth. Like they would have moments and they would have moments. But I think the last 10 minutes of this game was kind of like they will attack and we'll attack. And so it's definitely a throwback sort of game. But yes, it's a classic. It could have been even a bigger classic if we managed to get that third goal at the end. But yeah, I mean, considering everything surrounding it, like Liverpool in their pomp, and we've lost 4 in a row. Amarin, the pressure, everything that's going on around the club, and to go and get a point at Anfield with the way we are, like, yeah, I mean, that has to go down as a memorable one. Like this is one of those games we'll talk about for a while. As sad as it seems, but yeah.
No, but the reason why I say I'm not saying it's a classic because it's United at the best and Liverpool at the best. It was simply because where we're 14th in the league. We're looking at people like Ipswich and Wolves and all these teams behind.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, considering where they are and where we are, like I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. Like our position. I mean, we started 5 points off the drop, and then we're playing Liverpool, who are I think they've gone like 23 games without a loss. We're on the four loss winning streak. Oh, sorry, 4 loss streak. How do you call that? 4 game losing streak. Yeah. Sorry, I can't talk. So yeah, I mean, so I'm agreeing with you, Nick. I think it's one of those that will go down as a memorable game.
Yeah, there's a lot of goals to go through, and there's a lot of individual performances definitely to go through in certain situations in the game, which I will get to. But I have to bring up that last minute of the game with Xerxes and Maguire. I swear down. I understand he's doing the right thing. He's trying to win the game. So it's like maybe Maguire's in a better position, or maybe he didn't even know that Maguire was there on the edge of the box. But I'm sat there, I'm like, you've got to drill that in the bottom corner. If you're a clinical, confident striker, you bury that. For me,
the words there that you just said, confident. He's obviously not confident, is he? After what happened with the game against Newcastle, where certain member of the fan base booed him, and obviously he was upset, went down the tunnel. Had that not happened, does he then drill that across the goal and puts it in the corner? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, like when you cut it across to the 6-yard box, the one guy you don't want it coming to is a big 6-foot odd centre back who's not known for goal scoring, isn't it? Like if it's on the end of a corner and he gets his head on it, that's what you want. But when it comes to shooting, it's just not the guy you want. So it's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, the decision from Xerxes, like you said, you can't have a go in for it because he's trying to be unselfish and win the game. But if Rasmus Højlund's in that position, if Bruno's in that position, Garnacho's in that position, they're shooting. They're putting it across and they're shooting, and it's probably going to go in. So, yeah, gutting, man. Really, really gutting. But if Harry Maguire would have put that in, build the fucking statue.
Oh, my God.
All the people who have given him shit on our posts recently, like, have that if that goes in. Jesus Christ. He would have been a hero forever. But, yeah, gutting that last minute. Really, really gutting.
My main...
I don't think it was it was one of those ones where it's both decisions are the correct decision because Harry Maguire is no better position than he is. So I kind of get it why he's past that because he has a better opportunity to shoot. With the angle that he's in, it's a tighter angle to actually get that in the post. So yes, maybe the confidence was kind of low. And if he took the shot, I don't think anyone would be mad. But then imagine if he missed and then you've got Garnacho and Maguire there going, fucking hell, why do you... That we would have been saying the reverse. You understand what I'm saying? So both of it, I mean, you know, at least it didn't cost us the game. At the end of the day, it didn't cost us I mean, we still got a point, but I kind of see it. I kind of see why he would pass that because it was by far. I mean, we've been conceding goals off cutbacks the whole time. We've done a cutback. It hasn't gone well. You know, if Maguire scored, you know, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion.
I get it. I just felt like if you go back and analyse that as a coach, and Ruben Amorim's looking at that, and all the other coaches looking at it, you're probably thinking, what's a better chance of scoring? Xerxes shooting from the angle that he's at. In my opinion, I thought it was because having Maguire there is not the same as having a Ronaldo or someone who's just a clinical or let's say just for a striker in general. So I'm like, I felt even at the time when he got into that area, I was like, fucking shoot. This is your moment, you know. You've been booed at Old Trafford. Fans are cheering you now. You come on, go and get a winner at Anfield. Shoot, man. That's why I was a little bit disappointed. I get he's being unselfish. That's just in his nature anyway. I think just as a player, it's just the kind of guy that he is. But look, we'll recycle through the goals because it was quite eventful. Sam, Lisandro Martinez, fucking hell.
I mean,
barring him.
Can he teach Rasmus Højlund how to shoot, please? Because Rasmus Højlund, he runs in on Alisson and just hits it straight at the goalie, and it's just like, fucking hell, mate, put it across the goal or something, at least make him work for it. Lisandro would have rifled out of fucking nowhere into the roof of the netting, smashed it past the goalie. I've never seen that before from a centre-back. That was insane, and I was up off my seat, screaming, shouting, probably annoying the neighbours. Yeah, what a fucking goal that was. Fantastic goal, that. Absolutely amazing.
It reminds me of Rio's goal against Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
You know, he scored something very kind of similar to that from the edge. He brings the controls and then takes it in, roof the net and all that. But I mean, nobody had that on their betting slip.
One.
Like, nobody.
No one. Yeah, I agree.
Especially since, I mean, he had a terrible game against Newcastle as well.
Yeah.
Martinez. So I was actually surprised he started, to be fair.
Yeah.
But for him to come
I thought he would have gone with your own Maz, Civir.
Yeah.
That's what I thought as well. But yeah, he redeemed himself, man. He's and I'm so happy for him because he's one of those players that I just don't want him to lose the faith of the fans. Like I really, really want that belief to keep going because he's a leader and we need leaders in this team.
Yep.
I know we're clutching at straws slightly because there were still some things that are concerning, but like we said, given the position that we're in, is that one of the better 70 minutes under Amarin, I would say. Well, the full game was decent, but I felt like for 70, it was pretty equal. Maybe Liverpool just edging it, in my opinion, maybe on chances. I'm not sure. You might disagree with that, but it was pretty, considering they're going for the title and we're 14th in the league. That was one of the most even games you'll get, in my opinion.
There was a couple of their players who weren't at the races fully, were they? Like Trent.
Trent
weren't there, weren't sort of like firing on all cylinders. Salah, I know he scored the penalty, but he was mostly quiet for the most part, wasn't he?
Yeah,
like, he had a couple opportunities, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing really big. Gakpo looked like the biggest threat through the entire game. Luis Diaz was kind of not really there.
Quiet as well. Luis Diaz did nothing.
Gakpo was the one that you looked at and he was causing a lot of issues, and obviously we'll touch on the goal in a minute. But yeah, it's like he was the one that looked like the threat for the most part. But yeah, a lot of players sort of steps down. It was almost, I don't know, I don't want to put this on them, but it's almost a little bit of complacency, maybe. They were thinking, United in shit form, they're at Anfield, they've not beat us here for so long.
Yeah.
We're in a winning run, we've got Kanate back, there's no injuries, we can steamroll these, and maybe that's sort of rubbed off a little bit and they were a bit complacent. Just like a 1%, not much, because all it takes is 1% in it. And I think that's what happened. They took their eye off the ball just a little bit.
It never felt like it never felt like Klopp though, did it, Chivy? Do you know what I mean? Like, I felt like once they got on the goal, I thought, oh, here we go. There's going to be 3, 4 goals, 5 goals. They're going to be all over us. But under Slot, it feels like it's a bit more kind of controlled on it and not as like erratic, which I felt played into our favour a little bit.
Yeah, it's more measured on the Slot, I think. One thing I spotted again about the game was they were trying to go through Salah most of the game. And I think we had a game plan for that, because every single time they tried to isolate Dalot and Salah, you would have Ugarte running in or Kobe Mino coming into double team. And then there will be a third person behind them, whether that was Bruno, whether that was Martinez coming in. But it always got crowded every time. They always tried to like isolate Dalot and Salah. They were successful a few times, but then, nothing really came of it after that. And I think defensively, I think there's still holes, there's still things I'm a bit uncomfortable about with the system. I don't know if that's because the players haven't gotten it, or it's possible that the manager hasn't got it, but I'm still a little bit uncomfortable. Things in attack, and also whenever one of the centre backs drops into the midfield to like press a player, it's almost like a trap that they set, because Harry Maguire comes in to get, to stick to his man, and there's always a runner in, and then all of a sudden it's 4 versus 3. Or 3 versus 2. They always have that extra man in there.
Easy to get a numerical advantage with that system, in it. That's the thing.
So
sometimes
easy.
If you play it right.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's just the way if that's just the nature of the system, or if our players don't have it yet. But for what we're seeing, it looks. I mean, from this game, if we're going to isolate this game, it looks like they're finally sort of getting it, because I never really thought I'd see that chemistry between Mino and Ugarte, and today was, because every time they could easily have individually good games, but as a collective, I never really saw that until today. Like today was the first time, I could be wrong, but today was the first time I actually saw them working as a partnership, especially trying to neutralize Salah on the left. So there's a lot to take in, but still a lot for us to sort of learn, because it's a very risky system. I think it's risky the way we play. But sorry, I forgot. Go on.
No, don't worry about it. We're riffing it. It's absolutely fine. The 2 goals that Liverpool scored, Sam.
Yeah.
Matthias de Ligt involved in both of them heavily. What were your thoughts on those?
I think he was at fault for sliding in. I think don't need to do that.
Ego.
Like, just your Gakpo's going to turn on a dime, isn't he? Like, that's what he's treating. And you slide in, and just gave him the space, basically, and the opportunity to get that shot away. Don't take away for Gakpo. Fantastic finish. Like, really good, really good.
30 million Gakpo, lads.
Yeah. And we were in for him. We were in for him as well, which is,
I desperately wanted him. Top
it was disappointing from De Ligt on that one, like sliding in. But I was reading Devil's DNA, and apparently that's a worry of his. Like, he goes to ground too easily, because he hasn't got the speed and the agility to keep up with like a thing, so he goes to ground too easily and misses out, which is obviously what happened here. On the handball, I just want some consistency from VAR at this point. Like, because if that's a handball, like if his arm's up here and it's a handball, it's a natural position. I put some images in the group chat of all the ones that we've had against us, and none of them have been handball. but then that one is. So I was like, which is it? Like pick. Like,
Mm.
do you know what I mean? Just
I
pick some
thought
consistency.
he was quite wide, so his arms were quite like. If he was down by his side, it would have been Thinger. But also at the same time, it's very close.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was
how
like
do you-
2
how do you
yards
defend
from him.
something?
Yeah, it's 2
Do you know what I
yards
mean?
from him. So it's just,
Mm.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what the rule is with handball anymore. Like, it's just, it doesn't make
Mm.
sense. So I think we need to find some consistency with it. But if that's what we're going with, that kind of thing's handball, then I can swallow it and it's fine. But if next week that happens against somebody and they don't give it, you're like, well, what are we doing? Like, what is it? Like,
Yeah.
pick something and be consistent with it. That's the only issue I have with it. I'm not going to say it's definitely not handball because it may well be under the rules.
Yeah.
The other thing is that referee was making some weird decisions, by the way.
Yeah.
Some seriously
Was it-
bizarre positions. There was a Maguire thing where he slides in and gets the ball. He gives him a yellow and they give him a free kick.
Yeah.
Got the ball completely. Dallo with the yellow for the holding. Like, he's just like, God's sake.
But he did
And
that. Do you remember Anfield? He
Yeah,
gave him
yeah,
2
yeah,
yellows,
yeah.
didn't he?
And
Morning
then
off.
Robertson was holding Ahmad for ages.
Yeah.
Like, just had all of his
Yeah,
arm and he just wasn't blowing his whistle. And the lines was flagging. And he's just going, yeah, and he's not bothering. And he's just like, some bizarre decisions for the ref, man. Really bizarre decisions.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a bit naive from De Ligt for the first goal, like sliding in that way. It was a little bit naive. But with the penalty, like I just felt it was a bit unlucky because it came off I don't know what Liverpool player was there, it came off his head.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was so close that it's unlucky it could have happened to anyone. Yeah.
But did you feel at that time, Chivi, that after they obviously you probably thought Salah's going to convert this, right? It's probably going to go in.
Yeah.
Did you feel that like Liverpool are just going to take this now and run with it?
Yeah. At Anfield, yeah, I didn't see us coming back at all. Like, especially when they're at home, the crowd was going mad and everything. And based on what we've seen from these players, with the way whenever we go down, they kind of we've never really seen them come back so much this season in particular. So yeah, when Ahmad got that goal, I was like, what is going on? And then we didn't just settle, like we were actually trying to win it after that as well. So yeah, so that was super impressive.
I think that's the manager because I saw him on the sideline. He's like, fucking kill him. They're there for the taking.
Did you watch the pre? I think it was the pre. Yeah, when the journalist, when they asked him, they said, "This is going to be your fourth. I mean, you've lost 4 in a row. If you lose this, you'll be 5 in a row. How do you feel about?" And he was like, "I hate losing. Like, I really just hate losing." And that was, I mean, so when you have someone with that sort of mentality, like this is exactly what we want. You're not trying to settle for, you're trying to go for it, even if it's 2-2. I mean, you could go. And I don't think any of us would have been upset with him if he went for it and maybe even lost it because, I think that's what we want to see. We just want to see that spirit, that fight, and then we can back them.
But this is the annoying thing, though, isn't it, Sam? Because you saw us, we won it at the Etihad. We just picked up a point at Anfield, which not many teams do. A lot of teams go to Anfield and they lose, and good teams as well, by the way. But then you're looking at it and you're like, we play Arsenal in the FA Cup. We could well get knocked out of the FA Cup easily, and we could well draw to Southampton or something. That's the most frustrating element about supporting this club, isn't it?
You got to hope. I know we've been here before with Ten Hag. Like when we get a good result, this will kick on and confidence and all this nonsense.
Don't say that.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
Don't say the word.
I'm not saying it.
TTC.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah. I'm not saying it. But like that, the attitude and the fight and all that sort of stuff that I saw in this game, it wasn't just a result. Like, because sometimes under Ten Hag we'd get a result, but we didn't look good. Did we? We would look. You'd be like, there's
individual brilliance.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems all over the place, but we ended up winning it somehow. That was different because every single player was working well. There was fight, there was stuff, and then just stuff went against us. De Ligt with a mistake, the handball, which is what it is, and then Maguire missing at the end. Like, if not for that, maybe it's a comfortable 2-0, 3-0 win. Do you know what I mean? So these are fine margins in football, like it happens. But I thought the performance was there. So if we could take that on, and like he's had a week to train, we've now got 10 days before the next Premier League game. So got more time on the pitch. Hopefully he can sort of start getting this into the players. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom, but you are right. There's going to be more inconsistency along the way.
Hard to trust them, innit?
Yeah. It's going to be more inconsistencies along the way, but I'm hoping now the stuff is getting through to these players and Amarin's getting his ideas across, because what I saw today was totally different from what I've seen so far. So hopefully.
I like what Amarin's just come out and said, actually. He said we should get mad and disappointed more than the other day against Newcastle, Bournemouth and Nottingham. Today, we really need to be disappointed, because obviously he felt that we should have gone and won that game. And I think we should have as well. And that in itself kind of changes the trajectory of your season in a way, because you go and win at Anfield. I mean, it's unprecedented. Really, it don't happen. Forest did it, and that was a massive surprise. And these are the team, like I said, they're like, I don't know how many points above us, but like 20, 24 points ahead of us, like the streets ahead in terms of how they're playing at the moment. So to go there and do what we did, it's mega impressive.
Sorry to interrupt. The other thing as well, normally when we concede or a team goes up, our heads go down, don't they? And we just fucking capitulate. That didn't happen. At no point did we down tools or go, and just start hiding away and playing individually. That didn't happen at any point. So that's another positive thing, I think.
What I loved is how the Anfield crowd, I would say for probably about 75-80% of the game, was quiet, really.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen, you just kept it like, and you could tell they was worried. They was anxious. It's usually us.
They were anxious.
Were anxious and nervous. They was worried because we kept getting in. Dalot kept beating Trent. How anyone could call Trent world class.
Defensive
threat.
He's terrible.
Shit.
He's terrible.
Absolutely dog shit. If you've got Dalot beating you, or any player who's on that left-hand side, you are shit. I'm sorry. Yeah. Offensive flair on the ball is fantastic, but going backwards, he was like a big fault for them.
And I don't think their fullbacks knew who to pick up, because we were playing so like lopsided almost.
Yeah.
They didn't know who to pick up. So Ahmad was getting space. Like you said, Dalot was getting space. So they were like, who the fuck are we picking up here? Like, it was confusing for them. And Ahmad had the beating of Robertson every single day of the week. Like, he was just doing him every single time.
We said that in the preview, though.
Yeah.
That left-hand side, Robertson's been shit all season.
And you look at their fullbacks and you're like, you're probably going to lose Trent to Madrid. Van Dijk's a question mark. Salah's another question mark. That defence has got to get rebuilt possibly next season if you don't re-sign these guys. So it's an interesting thing.
Can we just praise one player? I know there was some good individual performances, right? And you guys are probably know who I'm going to mention. I know Ahmad was good. I know Maguire had his moments. I know there was Bruno had his moments included as well. But Manuel Ugarte.
Jesus Christ.
Bro.
Hell.
What a performance, man. He is serious player, in it. Serious player.
This guy, honestly, when was it? I remember when we were talking about this, when we're saying he's like a cheat code.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's like a cheat, and it's almost as if he's just they found the perfect role for him. He's just kind of just assimilated in, and we're not getting terrible. I mean, we're getting average 7.5s at an average. And for me, it's when you have players like this who are like disruptors and stuff. They are a little bit like wayward, but there's a lot of thinking that goes behind his when he intercepts. It's always the right decision. The pass he makes after that, always the right decision. Then he knows when to pass. He knows when to hold it. Then he spots there was that cutting pass he made across to Bruno. I don't know if you guys remember that. Yeah. Outside of the foot, I was like, this guy.
Do you remember people saying he couldn't pass? And I saw that, I was like, what do you mean he can't pass? Look at that.
Can I just add on to this? His stats. So 100% aerial duels won, 88% pass accuracy, 35 passes completed, 5 long passes completed, 5 ball recoveries, 4 tackles won, 3 dribbles, 2 clearances. That is a midfielder. Against Liverpool's midfield, Gravenberch, McAllister and Jones, he was arguably the best midfielder on the pitch.
And we're playing 2 in the midfield.
Yes.
Going up against 3.
Yeah.
This guy is
He's like
honestly.
He's like, do you know when you're you're eating outside at a picnic or something? There's a wasp just bugging. That's what he is. Isn't it? He's just a wasp, just fucking bugging the fuck out of everybody, and everybody's going, "Can we get rid of this fucking thing?" It's just, you're like, just fuck off, like, and it just never goes away.
It's the IQ behind it that just impresses me so much, because he's not stupidly giving the ball away. It's always the right decision. He's cunning. He's lucky. He knows where everyone is. Such a good player. We missed him at Newcastle.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, he deserves all the praise in the world. Like, I told when he came to the team, I was like, I'm going to fall in love with this player because he's going to be something great. And I have so far. he's been nothing next to flawless. Like these last 5-6 games, he's been the best player on the pitch, and that performance cements it. Like he's phenomenal. And I just hope we don't have to do without him for a lot of games this season because we're going to need him because he's that important.
You notice the difference from Casemiro and Eriksen against Newcastle to Ugarte today. It's fucking night and day.
Yeah,
night and day between
night and day. Honestly, but also I think we should also give a shout out to Bruno because even though he frustrates me a lot, today was that was a captain's performance. Like he came clutch towards the end. Do you remember that run he had when he moved through like
he went through about
players? He went clutch. So I think he deserves them,
which you rarely see with him, innit?
Corners, we're finally getting good corners in.
Yeah, he's not just hitting the first man, just the first man. I'll go short and then fucking it, and you're like, oh, for God's sake.
Honestly. But then that's the thing with Bruno, like he plays really well, and then he just does some fuckery. Like he gets the ball and just blasts it, and I don't know.
Can we dive into some comments before we continue, because there's fucking loads of them. Please do smash like on the video if you was impressed with that performance, and subscribe to the channel because we are less than 150 to 10k now. So if there is anyone in the chat who's enjoying the analysis and enjoys the lads on the channel and the chat, hit that subscribe button and let's get to 10k as soon as possible if we can. Right, I'm going to read out. The Average Guy TV says my mum. Okay. That's great. Random guy says absolutely buzzing right now. What a game. The players were up for the game. So many good performances today. Manu and Ugarte is a match made in heaven. Brian Casey saying, yeah, they both of them was fantastic, man. Unbelievable performance. The fact that we're disappointed with the draw says a lot. Spot on, Brian. Simon says, going off the full contest as a neutral fan, it was an amazing game and the result was fair, simple. Tim saying, great spirit. Let's hope we build on this. HMJ, Maguire, man, we could have won it. Nesta saying, let's go. Harry had me crying. You're not the only one. I was screaming at the TV. When, absolutely screaming. Because if you go and win that, my God.
I had my cat on my lap and I screamed and he just shit himself from right across the room. So just like fucking losing it.
Elite Baller in the chat saying United passed the ball around Liverpool, made them look average at their own ground. Liverpool played long ball on counter-attack. Simon saying, I'm a Man City fan and even I can see clear progression in a positive manner from United, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Told you this time ago. Spot on. Yeah. He comes here to listen to people with football knowledge. That's from UTFR. Brendan saying, Michael Oliver, the Newcastle fan, make it make sense. Yeah, I was pulling my hair out of him. He was pissing me off at times. We'll beat Southampton, but we'll have Instagram posts and reels from the players acting like the champs. McMillan saying, clear as day, can see that team has got an extra bit of training than what we've seen in the recent past. Amarin isn't a mug. Yeah. He's honest about needing more training time. Yep. Yeah. Felix saying, Ahmad loves a card celebrating against Liverpool, doesn't he? By the way, I didn't see Ahmad's goal. I think I was having a piss at the time and I heard loads of people screaming. So I was fucking sprinting downstairs. I was like, what's happened? I saw the replay, but I didn't really quite get the build-up or anything that happened. Was it expected, or can you remember it? Or
it kind of came out of nowhere, but no, it was more like a cutback. We finally got a cut, like a ball across from Dalo, I think it was, across, and then he comes in, and literally, it's almost like he picked their pocket because he comes in from the right-hand side where no one picks him up.
He had loads of space, didn't it? There was just fucking acres of space. I was like, how's he got all this space in it?
Yeah, he anticipates he allows the space, anticipates the ball coming in, and just weaves and no one picks him up. It literally came out of nowhere. And it kind of just rolled in between Van Dijk's legs and Alisson saw it late. So it wasn't even to a corner or anything. It was terrible goalkeeping as well from Alisson. But
yeah. I think Bruno's just encapsulated how probably the United fan base feel at the moment in what he's just said. He said, we can't be satisfied. I'm pretty upset. If we can show this at Anfield, why can't we do this every week? We need to be aware that we need to much more from ourselves. That is the main takeaway from this. I'm looking at it, I'm like, they obviously can do it. They've done it in an FA Cup final. They beat City when they was at their peak kind of City as well. Beat them in a final. You've knocked Liverpool out before when they was, charging in all four competitions. You just... Yeah, I know he was in bad form, but it's still something beating him at the Etihad in the form that we was in. You just gone and drew that Liverpool at Anfield. I don't understand how you like the Wolves game or like Ipswich game.
Bournemouth game. Bournemouth was terrible. That was fucking abysmal.
I don't get it. I don't understand it because they're obviously. We say, Chivi, you say it quite a lot as well. Like this team are better than what they're showing. And I even said it on the pre-match build-up. I was like, we're 14th in the league. I saw the team that we put out: Bruno, Ugarte, Mainu, all these players, like talented players. I'm like, how the fuck are we 14th? I don't get it.
How are we looking over our shoulder and going, I hope Ipswich don't win today because then they're like, do you know what I mean? How the fuck are we talking about this? Why are we looking at Ipswich? Why are we looking at Ipswich? This is ridiculous.
Mate, when I saw Ipswich was 2-1 up against Fulham, I was like, fuck.
Oh no!
Honestly,
Like,
I'm
what are we
looking at
doing?
Ipswich, Everton, Crystal Palace, like, that's who we're battling with. But then we have to also look. I mean, there's context to everything. The manager's come in, and he's hell bent on playing his style of football. He's hell bent on playing certain players in certain positions. We have to give him time to get it right. He did say that we're going to suffer. He did say that, and
there'll be a storm, and he was right.
There'll be exactly. So. I mean, we're never going to in the league. We're never going to get to top 6 at all. No. I mean, this season. No. So we have time to get it right. And then go for it next year. I'll be worried if at this time next year, where we're still inconsistent, then I'll be worried. But then for now, they need time to get it right. I mean, and then if you can do this within having an extra training session, come on, guys.
I think
pre-season.
The main thing I took away from that, as well as the thing I mentioned before, we didn't play like soak it up, counter-attack football to win or to get a result. I don't think anyway. I thought a lot of times he was quite measured on the ball. He was quite controlled. He knew when to shift it into certain areas. He knew when to manipulate space off the ball as well. That's what I was the biggest takeaway from me, because that's an imprint of Amorim. Really, a lot of coaches have just found it easy to kind of go, we'll soak up pressure, we'll hit him on the counter at Anfield. We've got Rashford, we've got Bruno. We can go and do that. But they didn't do that today. They went about it differently.
Like, if that's Ten Hag and we go that goal up, he'll start becoming chaotic, won't he? Just going for it and just trying to force things and trying to do the counter and a counter and a counter. Whereas Amorim's clearly get the goal right, calm it down, get the measure of the game, don't concede, and then start building up the play again, start finding the pocket, start finding the space, and then you kill it off. And I think over time that will get better because we've seen elements of it today. But if that's Ten Hag, that is like, we go 1 goal up and then we end up losing 5-1 or something because he just tries to play too chaotically. So I think the measured approach, although people are like, oh, it's a little bit not quite there, it's the right way to go. I think it's a better way to go.
This is the confidence that you need to have as a coach, because Ruud van Nistelrooy came in and we didn't lose a game, but then he was playing Ugarte and Casemiro, sort of that block, So it was kind of like, defensively and just trying to go for the win. Like, there wasn't any, clear style of attacking, football there. But then this is what it is as a manager. You have to, you come in with your philosophy, your style of play, and you stick to it, and you live and die by it. And I'm so happy we've got this guy, honestly.
Yeah. We'll name our man of the match in a moment. I think we'll probably all be in agreement with who it is. But just to kind of end it, Paul Scholes just said in his analysis, if United are going to bring in a player in January, it has to be a striker. I watched Rasmus today. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be that guy. I do feel like he's struggling quite a bit. And maybe it's a systematic thing. I'm not going to.
Can I make one point? There was when Garnacho came in. I don't know if anybody saw this. Towards the end of the game, Garnacho gets the ball. There's like 2 or 3 players. He's on the left-hand side. And he's literally waiting, and Rasmus doesn't make. He's just hiding. He's almost. It looked like he was hiding, because naturally you would make that run, like anyone's making that run. And then I was just like, just move. And then he doesn't do it. And shortly after that was when the change comes in.
Yeah.
When Xerxes comes on, and I don't know. Like, I really like Rasmus Højlund, and I do understand that the system does not allow for a player like him. To be fair, like you need someone with. A dynamic player, someone who can beat a man. Because early in the first half, when we get a fast break, the ball goes to Rasmus Højlund on the left-hand side. Someone with confidence will try and beat a player. We've seen him score on his right foot before. And he just runs the ball down, brings it back, and then allows them to settle it. So I get what you're saying. I like him. I don't want to be negative, but we have to confront some of these truths.
We have to.
We need a top striker.
He is
in this system.
if you brought Rasmus Højlund in and you had a top experienced striker, you're like, okay, cool, he can learn from him. He's the backup, rotate him in, all that. But we've brought him in and you go, basically, you're the number 9, mate, and you're gonna have to make this fucking happen. And I think that's really unfair to a 22-year-old who's come from Serie A and he scored 9 goals, in Serie A? That's a lot to put on a guy. And then the system doesn't help him either. So I think, it's really negligent at United not to go all out and get Harry Kane, for example, when we had the opportunity to, or whoever they wanted to sort of go target. And then you add a Højlund into it and he becomes your backup, your second striker. I think Scholes is right. I think I think if you had, let's pull a name out of my ass, Osimhen in that position where Rasmus has that shot, that's in the back of the net. I'd say
you're winning that game. If Osimhen starts for us today, I think you win that game at Anfield. That's the difference that it makes. He's too raw at the minute. He needs to learn. He needs someone experienced ahead of it. He's 21 years old. You know what I mean? Get someone. Gyökeres is 27. Osman's 27. They've been around. They know Europe. They know different systems. Rasmus doesn't at a minute. You know what someone said to me the other day that kind of like and it stuck in my head. We paid 70 million for Rasmus. Newcastle paid 60 million for Isaac.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about the quality difference there.
Well,
that instantly to me was like, wow.
Osimhen fell out with Napoli and he's gone on loan to Galatasaray. Are you saying we couldn't get him on loan? Are you saying that we couldn't have done that deal? Like, come on. Like, if you go to Osimhen and go, do you want to come to United on loan for a year because you've fallen out with it? Of course he's going to come. Like, why? I don't understand why we're not looking at it. Why we didn't look at it.
Yeah, spot on. I'm going to read the comments out, and then last thing we'll do is man of the match, fellas. So get it ready if you can. Lucky Singh saying Ugarte, Maguire, Yoro, Evans, Amad, Diallo, Højlund, Osimhen keeping. Okay. Barry H says I'm a City fan, but fair play to United today. They battled really well at a difficult place and fully deserved their point. You know, United doing what if not neutral fans, but if different fans are kind of praising United, you know you've done something good in it. So I will take that compliment. Thank you, Barry. James says, also, can I just ask, lads, was Dallo decent today or was Trent poo? What do you think?
Both. I'd say Dallo was good and Trent was shit.
Yeah.
A bit of both.
Trent made Dallo look good more than he was. Trent was fucking shocking, man, honestly. Someone to learn from, that's what Højlund needs. Random saying, sorry, didn't want to introduce some negativity. With 23 points behind Liverpool, they must be pissed. T2 the Izzo says Ugarte and Kobe were immense. I was worried we had lost it when Kobe came off, but Bruno was imperious when he dropped deep. Yeah, all fantastic comments. Appreciate you all. Do smash a like on the video. Man of the match. Should we say it all at once, or we got? I might have a different one. I know who I'm going with.
Manuel fucking.
I think we're all going with
Ugarte. Ugarte. Yeah, mustard, mate.
Ridiculous.
Like dropping 8 out of 10s every week at this point. I'm super impressed with him.
He doesn't even look tired, does he? He doesn't look tired. Like when he's playing, he doesn't look tired.
Well.
Yeah.
Every time it's kind of like
chill.
Just kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's just getting about the pitch like it's just nothing. Super impressed with him. I was a bit surprised Ahmad got player of the month. I thought Ahmad did really well. Against City, but apart from that, I think he's been a little bit quiet the past couple of weeks. Ugarte, every game when I've watched him, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. And I feel like attackers get favoured sometimes in those kind of things.
When you score some like important goals, it kind of overshadows a lot of things. So I think with the Ahmad goal against City, and I think he had one more somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah. But we're all in agreement. Yeah, Manuel Ugarte,
100%.
Man of the match.
100%.
Look. Arsenal next in the FA Cup, innit? Do we play on Sunday? I think it is away at the Emirates.
Sunday. The
Chivy Derby.
Part 2.
That's the one.
Chivy Derby Part 2.
Part 2.
We've still got one. Have we got one more time as well before the end of the season?
Yeah. I mean, this is the FA Cup, and then we've got the return of Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Chivy's three times the pain, Chivy.
Yeah, that's the one. But if you could put in performances like that, then I'll be a bit more confident going to the Emirates, to be honest with you. But yeah, we've got them, and then we've got a relatively easier run with like Southampton and Ipswich and Everton and all these kind of teams. So let's see if they can build on this consistency. That's the main thing that I want to see, rather than talking about, we're going to go win all these games now. No, we're not, because we don't get caught in that trap. This is what United do to people, innit? But we'll take it for now. a point at Anfield, a good performance. You could have arguably gone and won it. I think we're all relatively happy with that. So appreciate every single one of you in the chat who've got involved, whether you're a United fan or not. We appreciate all the time people interacting. Subscribe to the channel. We're getting closer to 10K. I'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock with a less drunk analysis of the game and a more in-depth kind of look at it. But yeah, appreciate Sam. Appreciate you, Civir. And we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.